When do you describe an incident of violence to be a terror attack? Now think about this. On the 8th of June, 4 young children were stabbed in a park in the southeast of France. In some very graphic video footage that has since gone viral on social media, a 31-year-old man is seen prowling around in a little park looking specifically for children to attack. Eventually, this man was tackled down and was arrested by the police. In recent years, France has dealt with a spate of knife attacks. But the question is this: why has France not been able to clamp down on knife attacks? And is it even addressing the problem correctly?
France was shocked by a gruesome attack on the 8th of June. 4 toddlers and 2 pensioners were stabbed at the picturesque Paquier park in the tranquil city of Annecy in the French Alps. 2 of the children and an adult are said to be in a life-threatening condition. All the wounded children were aged between 22 months and 3 years. French President Emmanuel Macron described the attack as an act of cowardice, for the attack to have taken place in a small tourist city like Annecy. Unlike the big towns of Paris, Marseille or Lyon, the usual suspects, is a major cause of concern.
Of course we are worried. How can we not be worried? Especially since within a few minutes away it could have been my children. So I think of my children and I say to myself, thank God, they are not my children. But here we are thinking of the children to whom it happened and for their parents. We are not immune. We say to ourselves that it can happen anywhere, any place. But for it to affect the children, we were not expecting that. It's serious.
The suspected attacker, taken into police custody, is a 31-year-old Syrian asylum seeker. He had entered France legally and carried Swedish identity documents, including a Swedish driving license. Certain Christian religious insignia was also recovered from him. Not on the radar of security agencies, his motive remains unclear. He had applied for asylum in France, even though he had been granted asylum in Sweden about 10 years ago.
Yes, it's a troubling coincidence because last Sunday, the Annecy knife attack suspect found out the government's decision of not granting asylum, since he already has it in Sweden, and then he commits this act of crime that is absolutely vile. I really want to send my deep thoughts to these children who today are battling death, and all mothers and fathers think the same. I've been Interior Minister for 3 years. I've seen a lot of very difficult things, but I think this is the worst day for the French because targeting children aged 2 years old, stabbing 2-year-olds, that's unspeakable.
Curiously, French authorities have ruled out terrorism as the assailant's motivation and are now investigating the case as an attempted murder. A number of violent incidents have been reported in France over the past few months, including the fatal stabbing of a nurse in the northern town of Reims last month. President Macron has denounced these recent attacks as a decivilization process, but opposition lawmakers have a point when they accuse his government of being too lax on law and order.